Hi guys, it's your girl Star Shu and welcome to the Shu Network. I'm excited to be here to provide some information to non-profit organizations, churches, on how to take advantage of the small business loans and the payroll protection program and the economic injury disaster loan program. And I'm here with my friend Mr. Daniel Chinosa. He is an accountant and he's been running a successful practice for over the last 20 years, and he is the best person to give us more information on this. So Mr. Daniel, do you want to say hi?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you. So we're gonna dive right into this. And so the first question is, again, are faith-based organizations, including houses of worship, eligible to receive the SBA loans, which is Small Business Administration loans, which are under the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, and the EIDL programs? Are small businesses, are churches eligible?
Yes, churches are eligible, faith-based organizations are eligible for the PPP program as well as the economic injury disaster loan programs. And they are eligible regardless of whether they provide secular or social services.
Okay, sounds good. So pretty much nobody's going to be asking what are the details of the kind of services you provide, right? But you can take advantage of it if you are a religious organization. Okay.
That's correct.
Are there any limitations on how faith-based organizations can use this money that they receive?
It's the limitations that apply are the same limitations that apply to all recipients of this loan.
Okay.
However, the PPP and the EIDL loan programs are neutral, generally applicable loan programs that provide support for non-profit organizations without regards to whether they are religious or secular.
Okay, so pretty much there are no limitations because you are a church, a non-profit organization, you can take advantage of this. So how would churches qualify if they have not received their tax-exempt status yet, their 501c3 status?
The IRS does not require faith-based organizations such as churches, mosques, temples, synagogues, and other houses of worship to register for the 501c program in order to be considered exempt.
Okay.
So if you do believe that you meet the exemption requirement of a 501c3 program, then you can apply.
Right. So if you meet the requirements, again, meeting the requirements is something that if you have been pursuing a 501c3 status, you will know what the requirements are. So even if you have not gotten your response yet, you qualify. Will my organization, will any of the non-profits or churches, would they be sacrificing their autonomy or its First Amendment or statutory rights if they request or receive these loans?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Receipt of the loan through any SBA program does not limit the authority of religious organizations to define the standards, responsibilities, and duties of membership and other religious duties as well.
So you will not be sacrificing anything. You're not going to be penalized, because you applied for the loan. So nothing to worry about there. So what legal requirements will be imposed, or are there any that are imposed on religious organizations that receive this federal assistance program?
There is no specific legal requirement other than that is applicable to all other recipients of the organizations, which 501c3 organizations are, which also binds 501c3 organizations. However, any legal obligation that you incur through the receipt of this loan, they are not permanent. What it means is that once the loan is paid up or forgiven, those non-discriminatory obligations will no longer apply.
That's good. Once the loan is forgiven, once the loan is forgiven, you are not bound.
Yes,
pretty much.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the loan is paid off, forgiven.
Okay, good. Paid off or forgiven. In this case, is my faith-based organization disqualified from any SBA loan programs because it's affiliated with other faith-based organizations such as a local diocese?
Not necessary.
Okay.
Not necessary. Some faith-based organizations will likely qualify as affiliate with other entities under the applicable affiliation rules. Now, entities that are affiliated according to the SBA affiliation rules must add up their employee numbers in determining whether they have 500 or fewer employees.
Okay, that's very important.
Under the SBA affiliation rules, it's something they should pay attention to.
So the next question is, does my faith-based organization need to apply for this exemption or include any documentation of its religious beliefs or practices to fall within the affiliation exemption? Do we have to provide some extra documentation? These are our beliefs, this is how we run our processes?
As we earlier said, the answer is no.
Okay.
No specific process or detailed filing is necessary to claim the benefit of this exemption. If you believe, however, that your organization qualifies for this exemption to the exemption to the affiliation rules, you should submit with your application a separate sheet stating as much.
Okay. So pretty much you do not want to give IRS more information than they ask or than they need. Honestly, you might just be getting yourself into more trouble or something. So just whatever information, honestly, with the IRS, the bare minimum, I believe is necessary.
And they did not ask for it as well.
And they did not ask for it as well. So no extra documentation. But again, in another video, I think Mr. Daniel is going to give us what is needed. If anyone is struggling, you can contact him, and and we are going to provide some information on what exactly is needed to apply for this benefit. I think the last question on this is, how do I know if my organization fits in the SBA size standards table, and where do we get this information about the size or the table,
Well, you can check the size standard table on the Small Business website. I think you can also find it through the IRS website as well. But under the CARE Act, a non-profit organization qualifies as small and are eligible for assistance. And then there are certain conditions that are applied, one of which is that they have to have less than 500 employees.
And I think that's the main thing.
That is correct.
That's the main thing. So
That's
pretty
correct,
much, honestly, there's no extra information to see, because this question is pretty much, how do I know where my organization fits in the SBA size table? As long as it's 500 employees or less, you qualify.
That's correct.
Okay. I think that's good. I don't know, is there anything you wanted to mention again to our viewers that they need to know? People applying right now, is there a hold? I know it's on a first come, first serve basis. So where are we now, and should small businesses or churches still continue applying?
Well, right now the SBA is no longer receiving applications.
Okay.
Due to what they call lapse in appropriations.
Okay.
But they are expected to reconvene again on April 20th of this month. Congress is expected to reconvene so that they can deliberate as much, and I believe upon reconvention they will settle their differences and make more funds available. At that time, the SBA will be able to accept more applications.
Okay, sounds good. So pretty much everyone, if it's possible, please stay on the IRS website. Have your ears on the ground, listening to all of this stuff and making sure that you're current with what's going on. Like Mr. Daniel just said, currently there's a hold in the funding, and so applications are not being received. So you want to jump on top of it as soon as that window opens so that you can take advantage of it.
That's correct.
Pretty much. And then there's just one last thing that I want you to touch on, Mr. Daniel, if you don't mind, and that is pretty much how non-filers can take advantage of the payment which is being released, per couple, per family, and for their dependents and stuff. If there are some people who have not yet filed because filing has been extended to July, so what do they do? How can they take advantage of that?
Well, the non-filer IRS has opened a link on the IRS website where non-filers can go and enter their information, direct deposit information, bank information.
Okay.
And then they can apply through that link. So in order for that to happen, a non-filer is if you is a U.S. resident or a U.S. citizen or permanent resident who has gross income that did not exceed 12,200 for a single person or 24,400 for married couples for 2019. In addition to that, if you were otherwise required to file a tax return in 2019 and did not plan to do so.
If you were not required.
If you were not required to file a tax return in 2019 and did not plan to do so, you can also apply.
So, guys, if you had gross income that exceeded 24,400 as a married couple, or that exceeded 12,200 as a single, you want to make sure you file your taxes ASAP, because you are not going to qualify as a non-filer, because it has to be established that you're getting some money back, right, from the government, or that you're in good standing. Is that it? Because if you make over 24,400, you're supposed to pretty much just hurry up and file pretty much so that you can get that money.
That is not the case. The case is, if you are a non-filer, if your gross income does not exceed 12,200, if you are single, and as such you are not required or may not be required to file taxes. Or if you are 24,400, if it is less than 24,400 as a married couple in 2019. Now, it does not have anything to do whether you are receiving money back or paying to the government. It's an independent program.
Okay, so non-filer, if you made less than 24,400, or you made, as a married couple, you made 12,200 as a single, you are considered a non-filer.
And they do not plan to file their taxes.
Okay.
Or did not think that they should file their taxes. So, which is perfectly legal, so that's what it is.
Okay, so what information would those people have to provide?
If you go to the IRS website, is actually very well listed. You need your name, as it is on your social security card.
Right.
Your current mailing address and email address as well, date of birth and social security number. You also need a bank account number, type of account that you open. It's either a checking account or a savings account. You need a routing number as well if you have one. And then you also need an identity protection personal identification number that is issued by the Internal Revenue Service if you have one. If you don't have one, you don't have to provide that information. You need your state driver's license or state ID that is issued to you in the state where you live. And then for each qualifying child, you need their name, social security number, or adoption taxpayer identification number, and their relationship to you or your spouse.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's correct.
And you mentioned to me earlier that you just helped someone file this today, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so pretty much if there's any questions, I'm going to have Mr. Daniel's information in the description below, in the description box. Please, if you need more information, you can contact him if you are worried about how to go about this, especially if you're a non-filer. I think it's very crucial. Mr. Daniel, is there anything else you want to just pitch out there that is important to know at this time?
Well, all I want to say is that if you have not done so, please do so immediately, because the funds are not limitless.
Okay, true.
The SBA release funds on a first come, first served basis. So please get your information, correct your information in the IRS website, and if you have not filed, please file as soon as some money is available. Don't wait till a later notice.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And I want to thank you all for listening. Please, if you have any specific questions, like I said, he has been practicing for so many years, and you can ask whatever question you need. And so please let us know your thoughts, your questions, your concerns during the process, and we are going to do as much as we can to answer you and to provide you all the information that you need. Again, I know a lot of the paperwork and information on the IRS website is usually overwhelming, and so it always helps to have a practitioner, to have someone who is in the practice just break it down to us. And I want to thank you because your time is invaluable and your information is invaluable. So thank you guys for listening, and please let me know what else you want to listen to. And if you have not subscribed to the Shu Network channel, please do so, as I'm going to have more videos coming on finances and all of this business stuff that is going to help you, especially if you're a Christian, especially if you're a nonprofit or a church. So thank you very much, and bye.
You're welcome.